Welcome to a brief technical demonstration of Data²s reView platform. My name is Jack Singer, and I serve as Head of Business Development for U.S. Government and Defense here at Data². In this video, we're going to explore reView's integration with traditional intelligence and cyber-related data. We'll also show how we use XQMessage's Zero Trust Data Security Suite to secure classified intelligence data both at rest and in transit. For the XQ portion of our demonstration, we'll begin by exploring how to utilize XQ's Vault solution to encrypt and decrypt data being stored in an S3 bucket. In the first phase of this demonstration, I'm going to walk you through how to connect Vault to your S3 bucket, encrypt data being stored in the S3 bucket, and how to decrypt and access that data from that same S3 bucket. I'll also show you how the data appears in its encrypted state within S3. To get started, we can connect Vault to an S3 bucket by connecting to your target directory on your device. This will spin up a virtual file share instance of the S3 bucket. To encrypt and upload a file, you can simply drag and drop it within the virtual file share instance. Your device will encrypt the data before uploading it to the S3 bucket. To access a specific data item, you can simply double-click it, and it will utilize all of the same applications you have natively on your device to open that item. You can make edits within the file, and those changes will be saved and re-encrypted on a file-by-file basis. I'll also show you confirmation of the file being encrypted by opening a file from the protected S3 bucket. If I open this protected user secrets file with Notepad, you'll notice that the file is fully encrypted with a unique encryption key to prevent lateral movement. If the key is compromised for this file, the file will remain inaccessible to anyone. For this next portion of our demonstration, we'll explore how to utilize XQ's groups and policies to restrict access to classified data. Let's open XQ's management portal and take a look at the communication logs associated with each individual data item. One thing you'll notice is that each data item is uniquely labeled. For example, Air Command Base's secret has the associated label secret. Staff Files Top Secret Bases has the label top secret. These labels are handled through the Policy Manager section. In this section, you can create direct data loss prevention policies, such as label data top secret. Any data item that contains the keywords top secret will also contain the associated metadata label of top secret. Additionally, you can create data access restriction policies around these associated labels. For example, if I wanted to restrict access to top secret data to just two individual groups, say the secret and confidential groups, I can apply data access policies that block any attempts to access these restricted items for those two specific groups. Groups in XQ are handled through direct integration with Microsoft Entra as well as Okta. Here, you'll notice we have three groups set up for three different clearance levels: confidential, secret, and top secret. I'm going to access a top secret document with a top secret profile. We'll access the intelligence briefings personnel document. When I click on the file, it will decrypt and open the content using the top secret identifier on my profile. You'll notice that this user profile will be able to successfully decrypt and access this top secret document. Now, on the other hand, I'll switch to a profile that does not have top secret access permissions. If I attempt to access that same item with a secret profile, I will not be able to decrypt the contents of that file. We're given a Vault policy alert in the bottom right hand of the screen that informs us that accessing this file without the requisite clearance is strictly prohibited. Additionally, any attempts to access encrypted data items that fall outside of the scope of the profile's clearance will only receive the encrypted version of that item. Now let's take a look at XQ's communications section. Within this section, we'll be able to identify a chain of custody associated with each individual data item stored in an XQ-protected S3 bucket. XQ provides a visual map to show you where your data was accessed from and when it was accessed. Here, I can look at a specific data item within the map itself. I'm going to access this Air Command Bases file, and then I can click on the file to view any associated logs. We can see that this user decrypted this item at this specific time and from this specific location. I can also revoke this user's access to this item. Taking that a step further, I can revoke all access to this item depending on whether or not there is a threat identified within the system. I can revoke access to items retroactively, even if they've already been sent to external entities. XQ provides in-depth communication logs for each of these individual files. If we click on the Asset Inventories file, we can track both the chain of custody and the version history information associated with that specific file. Picking up where XQ left off, we can take a look at the reView Secure File Upload portal. This is the screen in reView that allows us to confirm receipt of files from XQ's Zero Trust Vault. For context, any files received from an XQ vault will still inherit classified information policies once received by reView, which allows for implementation of both role-based and access-based controls within reView on any uploaded classified documents. With that being said, let's look back to the upload portal. As you can see on the left-hand side of the screen, we can view the S3 bucket protected by XQ's vault and see all of the files contained within. In the middle, we can preview data being passed to reView from that XQ vault. And then finally, on the far right side, we can view confirmation that this file has been successfully uploaded and received by our reView platform. The data we will use to illustrate reView's functionality is an intelligence problem featuring terror actors in the Afghanistan-Pakistan border region, in addition to a cybersecurity use case comprised of synthetic cyber data in a critical infrastructure security scenario. Data²s reView platform allows for the unifying of disparate data types to support integrated intelligence objectives and provide trustworthy AI insights to analysts and stakeholders. In traditional analytic workloads, analysts use platforms like IBM's Analyst Notebook to model scenarios and networks in a visual relationship diagram. However, these diagrams must be built manually by the user, without access to a generative AI assistant, to optimize and accelerate their analytic workflows. Here's how Data² is different. As opposed to the static relational diagrams built manually in legacy programs, secure and classified data, once loaded into reView, transforms into an interactive relationship diagram that can be altered and changed to best suit the needs of the analysts. For the purpose of this demonstration, we'll begin in the traditional intelligence problem set. We'll begin with reView's Graph Explorer. Within the Graph Explorer, we can view interactive knowledge graph data models containing the information we loaded into the tool. Within the Graph Explorer, we can utilize different graph perspectives to view subsets of the loaded data. For instance, if we wanted to gather information related to terror financing in the region, we can enter into the Evidence Review tab to cross-reference financial intelligence with human intelligence reporting to unearth elaborate transaction networks within the dataset. There are some other perspectives in reView's Graph Explorer that we can utilize as well. In the Entity Review tab, we can quickly load fine-tuned perspectives on a per-entity basis. If we want the same financial perspective as we had earlier, we can click on Banks, and it will load all of the nodes and edges associated with banks in the dataset. If we want to look at different cities in the dataset and any relevant events connected to those cities, we can load that information easily into Entity Review as well. In the Person Review tab, we can explore the evidence connecting two persons of interest. In this case, we're showing all of the connections between a recently deceased U.S. informant and a suspected terror financier in the region. And we can explore all of the nodes and edges associated with that subnetwork, including bank account numbers, potential financing intermediaries, and any relevant organizational ties. In Concept Review, we can load perspectives based on actions in the dataset. We can load entities and evidence related to attacks, confessions, video transfers, etc. Switching gears to the cyber dataset, we can begin to explore information surrounding the critical infrastructure security scenario referenced earlier in greater depth. Within reView, we can view the critical servers, malware endpoints, and firewall traffic associated with the infrastructure security threat. If I hop into the Human Intelligence tab, I can click on a report to receive an AI-generated summary that demonstrates the report's relevance to the rest of the dataset. I can do the same thing with these malware reports as well. This summary lists critical details, attack capabilities, and associated vulnerabilities related to the malware endpoint in question. What sets reView apart from its competitors is the ability to reason over this information to produce trustworthy outputs that are generated using only the data the user has access to. For instance, if I ask a question of the system with a secret profile, I'll get an answer based on secret information. Likewise, if I had a top secret profile, it would generate a new output that incorporates that top secret information. Allow me to demonstrate. If I ask the AI reasoner a simple question like, what data do you have access to? I'll get two different answers depending on clearance. The first question, asked with the secret clearance, returns us a high-level summary of the data contained within the dataset. If I ask the same question with a top secret clearance, I'll get a much more exhaustive summary of the data compared to that secret cleared answer. The secret cleared answer tells us about that wall of fire malware endpoint we looked at earlier, but doesn't elaborate on the nature or objective of the malware. In the top secret answer, however, we're told that the malware endpoint is targeting water treatment infrastructure. This bifurcated access approach enables collaborative analysis across disparate clearances and compartments that are optimized and enhanced for analyst productivity compared to legacy workflows. In a world where the minutes between crisis and action can be the difference between a mission's success and failure, intelligence professionals depend on and require tools that both surface critical insights and enable seamless collaboration across multiple agencies and stakeholders. Paired with XQ's zero-trust security architecture, Data²s reView platform is that tool. Thank you for your time.